Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a very interesting team here with Shadow Swampert. We're going to have here also our Mana Bust, this is going to be our lead, and we're going to have as our Saysop, our Golisopod here. This is going to be a team that's going to be double weak to electric type leads, so hopefully we don't encounter any of them. But that's why I calculated risk, because I thought that this team would have a lot of potential in the current meta. And turns out this team does have a ton of potential in the current meta. This is actually a team, by the way, that I didn't build myself. I battled up against it, and I was like, I kind of want to try this team out myself. And so that's why I have it here. They were running actually against me a normal Swampert, but I'm always honest in all of my videos, of course, with everything that I do. So yeah, this is not a team that I built myself, but I still wanted to give it a try. Don't really know the person anymore because, again, it was just a random battle in GBL League where I encountered this one. I was like, maybe I want to give it a try, because I think that Swampert especially is a Pokemon that has a potential right now that is kind of not used by a lot of people. Like, this Pokemon itself has so much play in the current meta, as there are so many ground-type Pokemon, but also against like the few electric-type Pokemon like Dedenne, it's going to be great. But generally in the current meta, it seems like one of the best Pokemon to run, especially if you're going to be able to get some energy on this Pokemon. You are looking quite good with this thing. And so, yeah, we're going to have your Mana Bust in the lead as well. I was looking for a little bit of bulk, and while I'm not the biggest fan of Mana Bust, in times where you struggle, rely on bulk in Go Battle League. That's definitely the case in most of the seasons so far as well. But yeah, actually kind of funny enough as well, which I see quite often, like I'm even not yet in the next rank, I'm not even expert yet, which I'm usually definitely at this point. A lot of people are currently struggling in the Go Battle League. I'm not too sure why this is the case, but maybe I should take a look even at different leagues than the Open Great League. To be fair, I think I actually know why this is the case, because the Open Great League is been in a state currently where it is so diverse in the Pokemon that you're going to have and that you're going to encounter, that is quite difficult to really deal with them, because you can literally encounter anything. I had a coaching session yesterday, I think, and I had, 24 different leads in 30 matches, I think it was. So yeah, 24 different leads, try to find a common Pokemon that can beat most of them. It is going to be basically impossible. And that is kind of the issue in the current meta. I think that is kind of the reason why people struggle so much, is you can't prepare for everything. It is not that you have like a certain meta that we had before already, where you're going to have Pokemon like Medicham the entire time, Medicham Bastion, and then you're going to have like the odd Pokemon that's going to be able to break the core of them. That just doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't happen anymore. You're going to have so many Pokemon you have to kind of, think for, try to build a team around, try to build a team against, that the meta itself becomes so unpredictable that you're going to struggle having consistent results, at least for most people. So I think that is the main issue. I think that's why most people are kind of struggling right now as well, because it's very difficult, very difficult right now to find a team that is going to do consistently super well. But that's a Great League problem. Like, you're going to have most days some other times in the other leagues, because every league is kind of different. But that's at least what I feel like for the Open Great League. Let me know down below if you think the same so far. But yeah, let's take a look a little bit more at the games here, because this team actually worked out quite well. But you always kind of see me dropping some elo before most of my videos recently, because I usually take 2 to 3 teams before I actually find one that I like. This is a team that I like. I had different teams before that I tried out that I just didn't like at all, that didn't work out for me. I don't post them on YouTube because I don't really want to give you like false sense of like, oh, that's a team that I should run, and it's like not a good team at all. Yeah, of course I can title the video being like, don't run this team, but what's the point then, showcasing a team that doesn't work? So yeah, if you see me drop some elo before, it's mainly down to teams that I try out before that I think is going to be good, but actually then have a bit of struggles against the meta. For example, I tried out a team with Regidrago before, I tried out a team with, I think, another Shadow Scissor team out before. They all didn't really work out the way I wanted to, so that's why we're here now. But yeah, as you can see here, we're going to have Swampert now going ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon against the opponent's Marowak, and this is kind of the benefit of literally this Pokemon. And yeah, it's kind of mad. Like, Swampert is so good in the current meta. Having water type coverage like Swampert is kind of amazing. There are other Pokemon as well that I kind of want to take a look at as well still that have nice water type coverage, but that's going to be for a different video. So we're going to take a look at one of the more difficult matchups here. We're going to encounter our Wigglytuff in the lead. We don't really have the greatest answers for this Pokemon, as our lead gets completely destroyed from it. Our Sasop doesn't really enjoy it, but at least can force a shield. And our Pokemon in the back is alright. We have such, we're gonna be able to do a ton of damage, but of course no, Hydro Cannon would be easily enough as well. But the issue for our other Pokemon here, for our Swampert, is of course that we don't have the bulk. But what I expected here from the opponent is that they're going to have a double ground team. Very likely there's going to be a Golurk lurking in the back, but as we will see here, we're going to be able to catch the move from the opponent. But the opponent predicted me swapping out of here, which is a smart play, which is a crazy good play. And this is also kind of one thing. Everybody is currently at a level in PvP where, yeah, like a lot of people are supposed to hit Legend because on how well they play. And like predicting moves like this definitely deserves some praise there. Well done from them. But also, that doesn't only end here. Of course, I'm gonna go back into the Wigglytuff, but because they know that they cannot let the Wigglytuff go down yet, and that they still have the Golurk in the back, they make the smartest play ever by swapping out of here. I was hoping I could still get to another charge move, I didn't. Even if I swapped out straight away into my Swampert, the game would have been over at this point already as well. I needed to get to another Aerial Ace in order to have a chance of winning this battle. But they just completely... yeah, made two great plays here in order to win the battle. While I lost the Lostheart and I had a very tough time as with the Sasops there as well, the entire team is great against ground-type Pokemon, and that is why I actually thought I would have had the battle, but the opponent played it super, super well. So congrats there. And here is a team that I think is kind of cool as well. We're going to have the Tinkaton in the lead. Tinkaton, very interesting Pokemon, very bulky. I don't have a good one built yet, but I have one build at least, so I could give it a try again as well. Tinkaton kind of disappeared recently, and I am not too sure why, but then again, if you take a look at the meta, most common leads currently are mainly Dedenne and Scizor. Dedenne is alright for you, but like also not great. Scizor is really bad for you if you want to go for Tinkaton. But here we're going to have the Blastoise. Blastoise is an interesting Pokemon that I think is really, really good in the current meta, especially the non-Shadow version. And as we see here, Tinkaton is now coming in. We're going to be able to go into our Swampert, and you see me staying in here. You see me staying in because I needed more energy. Tinkaton already is going to be at a Bulldoze at this point, and I know that I need energy in order to deal with this Pokemon. I also know that I can't go for an Aerial Ace before they go for a Brave Bird. I was hoping here that I still survive a Brave Bird, but I wasn't sure at all. And they go for the Brave Bird now, we can still survive. And I was thinking, one Aerial Ace should be enough, right? Double debuff, we already got some damage onto them. No, it is not enough. And so we're gonna be forced to go for another Aerial Ace, but at this point we should be able to swap out as well. And so we can hit the opponent's Tinkaton straight away with a Hydro Cannon. But what we see as well is that this Pokemon has so much bulk, this must be like a very nice IV version already from the opponent, because usually it does more damage. And so we have to call the bait here, we call the Bulldoze. The Bulldoze debuffs us here, but because we are going to be able to get to two charge moves here with our Shadow Swampert, I can BM them. Of course, Sludge is not the move you want to go for in theory, but it's hilarious because it's going to knock them out no matter what, and so we're going to be able to win this battle. Sometimes I just play a little bit for fun there as well. So we can move on now to the next opponent, where we're going to encounter the Drapion in the lead. The only reason really currently, by the way, to run the Manabus is to run the fast move of Air Slash. There's no real reason to run Snarl, because I feel like if you run Snarl, you have just a better time running the Galarian Moltres. It's just the better Pokemon with Sucker Punch. So, the only main benefit of running Manabus would be to go for the fast move of Air Slash. Having fast move pressure, having flying type pressure especially is very good in the current meta. Flying types are always kind of good in nearly every meta recently in the Yugo Battle League. Especially though in this one as well, with the bug typing being very solid. But here we're going to see a very cool matchup for ourselves. We're going to have Diggersby against our Golisopod, and as we will see as well, they're going to swap into the Drapion. But we are going to still have quite a bit of HP left, just enough to get to another Aqua Jet, which is going to force the final shield from the opponent. So again, the damage that Golisopod did to the opponent's team was kind of wild. I know that they have a ton of energy here, they're going to get to 2 Aqua Tails in time, but I see as well they're still going to be able to survive this hit. And so what we can do next is, we are going to be able to just swap out into our Swampert. We can go ahead and go for the full farm down, get a ton of energy, still have the area stored, having 2 shields advantage, and they reveal that they have the Galarian Corsair in the back. And this is why I love Shadow Swampert over the normal Swampert. I just enjoy the Hydro Cannon damage so much. As you will see as well, this is going to not two-shot them, but it's going to put them into range where we can mud-shot them down, which is absolutely fantastic, and that is going to be a very good game to the opponent. And we can farm down the Diggersby as well, so bye-bye there. Of course, if you enjoyed the video so far, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's free and helps out a ton. As we will see here from the opponent, they swap out into Golisopod into my flying type. That seems to be a little bit of a silly play. I don't really understand this play. I don't think there is really a good reason for it. But what we are going to be able to do is we can take an Aqua Jet here because against Dusclops, I rather keep my Mandibuzz. And so we are going to be able to get a bit of energy here. And while, Dusclops I expected to come in here, it's going to be the Dedenne. And Dedenne is going to use a shield against the Aqua Jet, as Dedenne, while being quite a strong Pokemon with a parabolic charge, it is a Pokemon as well here where you have to be a bit mindful with the HP and like the defense stat before the boosts, because it is usually not really doing a lot there. But as you can see as well, I'm going to get up to 2 Hydro Cans on my Swampert, and now I can swap out, because I know that my Mandibuzz has absolutely zero play against the opponent's Dedenne, but has a ton of play here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to care at all about where my Mandibuzz is gonna go. I will let it go down here. I'm not gonna give them any farm on the Dedenne there at all, and I have now 2 moves stored. The opponent can still go for a Shadow Punch. I don't really care. They should be energy dry at this point. They go into the Dedenne. I do think that's better to go for Sludge here because of the super effectiveness, but I'm gonna go for that next. They actually win CMP type. That's alright by me though, because the parabolic charge is coming through. Sludge is going to be doing super effective damage against the opponent. And as we will see, this is going to do some nice damage here. We can go for the full farm down. In comes the Dusclops here against the opponent, and this is going to be enough to get the KO, and we can move on to the next opponent, where we will see the Feraligatr coming in. That is going to be a very neutral matchup for us, but I'm going to try to swap out here to try to catch a Hydro Cannon because it's going to be resisted, and so that's basically where I'm going to try to keep my lead alive as well. We want to have here the perfect combination of our lead as well as our Pokemon in the back with the Swampert, so basically Golisopod is the glue in between. You kind of want to realign as if it's possible, and as you're going to see here, while I might have to invest 2 shields, I am going to be able to realign myself, and that is going to be super important because now we have Mandibuzz with energy, and still the Swampert in the back, and here we're going to have also still our energy, and we have a Clodsire coming in. Clodsire will take some super effective damage here, and I was quite curious on why did they go into the Clodsire instead of going for whatever they have in the back, because it takes super effective damage here. And so I assume they're going to be weak to water type Pokemon still in the back, and I decided to go ahead and, yeah, swap out into my Mandibuzz against the opponent, and as we will see here as well, this is going to allow us to get the KO. They go into reveal that they have actually the Malamar in the back, and that is fantastic. Malamar, interesting Pokemon, to be fair. I think it's still a Pokemon that has a lot of play in the current meta. I think there are a lot of Pokemon that are kind of weak to this thing. I still do think that it's going to be kind of bad against the Mandibuzz, and so yeah, we're going to be in a perfect position here. We are in an absolutely perfect position. There's nothing the opponent is going to be able to do here at all, as we're going to be able to go for the Aerial Ace, let it go through, and we're going to be able to move on to the next opponent, where we will face the Dusclops. That is going to be an interesting matchup again. We are going to see here that they're going to have Ice Punch, of course, super effective damage against us, but we're also going to be able to resist the Hex, and we have Dark Pulse for them. They try to catch the move here, but because I was a bit sluggish at swapping out, they're going to be able to outspeed us here, which is actually quite unfortunate. Why is it so unfortunate? Because if we would have swapped out earlier, we would have a scenario now, even if they would have got to their move before, then we would have been able to farm them down here. Like this, I'm gonna be forced to go for a charge move against the opponent, even though I don't really want to. And we're still gonna be able to knock them out here, but we're gonna not have the energy advantage that we had there if I would have swapped out a bit earlier. As we see though, we're going to have the Dusclops coming in, Shadow Punch not doing that much, and I can store actually my energy still for later on, as I was debuffed from the Rock Tomb. I didn't really want to go for a charge move there yet. We see the opponent going for another charge move here as well, which is absolutely alright for me. And the Ice Punch is doing some solid damage here, but we will see the swap out into the Marowak, which is totally okay for us. Again, this team hard walls any ground type Pokemon, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, we have basically played against ground types on any single Pokemon here on the team. And yeah, that's the main benefit of this team as well. I really enjoyed this team. I went really positive with this team as well, by the way. I only had positive sets with this. I think I went a total of like, I think 9 and 3 with this team. So like, it was a really good team to run. There's not more that I can say. But again, I had a little bit of struggles with other teams previous to this one, so it is what it is. I actually tried out a triple ground team before as well, which didn't work out as well as I expected to. Well, it looked actually kind of cool on paper, but it wasn't really good. So maybe I have to try a triple water team or something now as well, which maybe has some more potential. Anyway, we're going to see the Greninja here against us. We're going to be able to swap out into our Golisopod to catch a hit. And here, by the way, the cool thing as well, while Mudshot got nerfed like a few seasons back, like over a year ago, I think at this point, which made Swampert go disappear a little bit more. The cool thing still about Swampert now is that Mudshot does more damage than before. So even the Greninja, a Pokemon that's quite squishy, is not going to enjoy too much the Mudshot pressure that we're going to be able to apply with our Swampert here. And so here we're going to be able to get out the opponent's Jellicent. Of course, we're going to try to align our Manabus here, as well as we're going to be able to reach an Aerial Ace here as well in the CMP tie. We're of course going to lose the CMP tie, but what you're also going to see here is that one more Surf is going to be enough to knock them out. And so we will try our best to now go ahead, go for the full farm down, and as we will see, they're going to have a Clodsire in the back. They swap out straight away into the Greninja, and what I will do is a play that I'm not too sure if it's actually the right play to do. I decided to go for the full farm down. This is forcing me to go for my next shield as well, and so I do think it might be not the right idea. I maybe should have went just straight for my charge move after one more fast move. I think it would have been better. But at the end of the day, I'm going to reach this Clodsire here with a 2 charge moves stored, which I'm going to be able to go up against it back to back. But here's another question. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna try to catch the Earthquake? I was clearly not able to do that. But am I gonna be able to still win the battle? I might, because I have energy here, I have the Dark Bolt stored, and this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a very strong team to run. Just make sure that you don't encounter Dedenne in the lead, and I will see you then. Bye bye.